cutting an arch radius cut. There's a magic measurement here on your track to be able to get even sections and bend this into a very circular shape, no matter how you slice it. So the magic measurement here is 2¼ inches from the center of the track. So if I put my square on the center of the track, I'm going to go 1, 2, and 1/4 inch. Now I'm not going to mark the face for my radius. I'm going to mark just the sides. And I'm going to do this from the center of each bulb. So I'm going to do 2¼ Now I'm going to come down to this light and put my 2¼ on the center of the light, mark the sides. There's my 2¼ inches. And let's do this one more time from the center of my bulb, 2 1/4. Make a tiny little mark there, match it on both sides. Okay, now all I need to do is cut each side of the track where I made my marks. So I'm going to cut 1, we'll do 2 and 3, flip this guy over, we'll do 1, 2, and 3. Now what I have is even sections between each of my lights that I can then bend into pretty much any circular shape that I would like. Now, what our local install crews will do is to cover this gap, if this is not behind a fascia board, we're gonna put some paintable caulk right in here and paint it to match the color. Or these gaps can be covered with standard clips. There's also one other way to do this. So if we're going to do this the alternative way, I would recommend using, depending on how severe the arch is, I would use no smaller than 2 light sections of track. So I'm going to take this guy off, and we're going to come up with another 2 light section of track. So I'm going to mount this guy right on the archway, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure where my angle needs to be. If this is a pretty large radius, I can do this in multiple 2 light sections of track, 3 light sections of track even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a peak cut out of this stick of track using the same principles as we used for the peak light. So cutting each side to the angle of the radius, and then I'm going to bend those pieces of metal out. Now I'm going to fit the tracks inside of each other, and I'm going to keep doing this all the way around the archway so that I have a straight piece transitioned into a peak light, straight piece into a peak light, so on and so forth. So there's your 2 ways to do arched radiuses.